Hi, I'm Heather Noël, author and narrator of How to Feel Better When Things Get Worse. Before I share this program, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how it came into being. I was raised in metaphysics, and after many years of reading self-help books and going to workshops and week-long seminars, I couldn't figure out why my life wasn't working and why I wasn't happy on a consistent basis. Then one day, after listening to a 3-hour lecture, the speaker summarized his main points and said, "Now do this for 60 days without skipping a day." I immediately thought, I will never remember this for 60 days. So I wrote and narrated a script with concepts from the lecture and favorite quotes from books I loved. I listened to my cassette tape for 60 consecutive days, and my life completely changed. I shared the tape with a friend who was a single mom with 6 kids, and within 60 days she was given a house. Miraculous results kept happening for every person who listened to the tape. So I went into a recording studio and created the program you're about to hear. 30,000 people downloaded How to Feel Better, and I received a constant stream of positive feedback, miracles, and thank you letters. Yet I had no idea why the program worked so consistently until a few years later when the movie What the Bleep was released. Dr. Joe Dispenza explained that neuroscience has proven we can change our brains just by thinking differently. Through the concept of mental rehearsal, the circuits in your brain can reorganize themselves to reflect your very intentions. In other words, training your brain to think differently physically changes your brain. I then realized that every person who listened to at least some portion of this program for 60 consecutive days was mentally rehearsing the concepts to the point that their brains changed physically. Here's a story that will help you understand what I'm trying to explain. For a couple of months, I had been listening to track 2 of this program, which is called the OK Concept. I had been listening to it daily with the idea that I would listen until I had it memorized. The idea is to let everything be okay, no matter what's happening, because it's just what is. As you might imagine, that concept is easier said than done, but I just kept listening and applying the concept every single day. At the time, I was a single mom living in Salt Lake City. My daughter, Amelia, was about a year old. I had no family, and I took care of her full-time 6 days a week. Her father took her 1 day a week, and I would see all my massage clients on that day. On this particular day, my afternoon client had canceled, and I had some spare time, so I took Amelia to the zoo with a friend. He then treated me to lunch at my favorite place outdoors in a beautiful canyon on a creek. The service was notoriously slow, but the day was heavenly. My daughter was sound asleep, and when the food finally arrived, it was fantastic. The day couldn't have been more perfect. Suddenly, I realized I had lost track of time. I was supposed to meet Amelia's father, John, at the ski resort where he worked, and I had agreed to stop at the bank and bring him some cash. At this time, very few people had cell phones, so I apologized to my friend, boxed up my lunch, packed up Amelia, and then stopped at the bank. Miraculously, I made it on time. I handed John the cash he had requested. He thanked me and said, I'm not really feeling like taking Amelia today." In that moment, I realized this was something he had planned, but he didn't tell me in the morning because he wanted me to deliver the cash he needed. I can tell you right now, the old me would have been angry and upset. But to my astonishment, my entire body was totally relaxed. I felt calm, at peace, and happy, and I said, "Okay, I'll just take Amelia for a swim in the pool." We all went swimming together, and when we were done, John said, "Since you're taking Amelia tonight, I'll take her for the next 3 days." This had never happened before, and I knew that his response was directly connected to my genuine feeling that everything was okay. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect when I started listening to the OK concept on a daily basis. I thought I was going to have to repeat "it's okay" over and over again for the rest of my life. It never occurred to me that I would physically feel at peace throughout my entire body. And though I have to remind myself from time to time that it's all okay, that calm physical feeling that all is well has stayed with me for over 20 years. Now you can understand why self-help books, workshops, and seminars can be helpful and inspiring, but unless you've created a new dominant neural pathway in your brain, your old mental habits will kick in, and you won't see the changes you were hoping for. So here are the keys to the kingdom. Training your brain to think differently physically changes your brain. So listen to this audio program like your life depends on it, because it does. Listen to at least one track every day and apply what you're learning. This is the mental rehearsal that will rewire your brain and create new dominant neural pathways. You don't have to sit still or dedicate your time. You can listen in the shower, while you're cooking, or commuting to work. Also listen to track 6, the toning meditation, and sing or hum along with the track. You'll understand more about this later in the program, but be sure you sing or hum along with the music. Don't skip this part. You can easily do this in bed as you're falling asleep at night and when you wake up in the morning. In other words, you don't have to take time out of your day. The trick is to do this for 60 consecutive days and apply what you're learning. If you skip a day, mark your calendar and start again with day 1. This is what it takes if you want to not only think differently, but feel differently on a consistent daily basis. And remember, you're never too busy to change your mind. Okay, here's the program.
If you would like to start seeing answers instead of problems, you must first understand that everything you experience is filtered through your perception. In other words, your perception determines your experience, not the event itself. For instance, if you had 100 different people who had the same experience, there would be 100 different reactions, depending on individual perception, which is based on past beliefs and feelings. Look at your life and determine what % of your life is peaceful and joyful, and what % is problematic or chaotic. Now observe your thinking. What % of your thoughts are focused on happiness, love, and joy, and what % are focused on worry, anger, fear, or resentment? How often do you have little inner conversations where you argue your point and try to prove that you're right and they're wrong? Notice there's a direct correlation between the % of what you're thinking, believing, or feeling, which is positive or negative, and the % of positive or negative experiences in your life. A Course in Miracles says something to this effect. You either learn through love or fear. If you learn through love, your lessons will be joyful. If you learn through fear, your lessons will be painful. Either way, you're going to learn. So the question is this: do you want to continue having painful experiences, or would you rather learn through joy? Most people believe in some sort of a higher power or God. Even those who say they don't believe in God may very easily embrace the statement from the Bible which simply defines God as love. Or they may think, I only believe in myself. God is defined as I am in the Bible. So if you believe in your own existence, you are, by definition, believing in God. This may not be how religions define God, but this is the broad definition for our purposes here. So when I say the word God, please apply whatever definition will allow you to hear the message. All modalities and therapies recognize that what we're really dealing with are patterns in consciousness. So if you want your life to change, you have to change the way you're thinking. In other words, if you are focused on your problems and feeling stress, worry, anger, resentment, you will continue to create those experiences in your life. If you want a life full of abundance, joy, love, peace, and harmony, you can create it by feeling abundant, feeling love, feeling joy, and feeling gratitude. It's as simple as that. If you doubt your mastery in this area, just realize that you've already powerfully mastered your ability to create painful experiences by focusing on fear and negativity. So you can just as powerfully create something joyful by focusing your full attention on love. Do this powerfully and do it with great joy. I assure you that if you're feeling like you're in the pig pen, or you're battling depression, or you're experiencing lack and limitation, or wondering when God is going to answer your prayers or give you the love of your life, you will only continue to experience more of the same. If you want out of the pig pen, focus your full attention on God, on divine love, passionate life, the truth of your being. Do you want the love of your life? Be the love of your life. Be the love you ask for. It is through living passionately, joyfully, and with an abundant heart that you will draw these experiences to you. There is no other way. Say to yourself over and over, I love my life, no matter what the appearances may be, because you created it. If you deny that what's happening to you is a direct result of your own thoughts and feelings, you're stuck with that creation. If you love your creation, then you can create anew. Truth is a subjective thing. What's true for me may not be true for you, so I'm not here to tell you the truth. I'm here to tell you what works. And based on results, does your life work? Is your life filled with joy, abundance, peace, and harmony? Do you love your life? If there's something missing in your life, I can absolutely guarantee I can give you an uncomplicated process that will change your life if you simply apply the principles. Use all of these ideas or just pick what works for you. It is impossible to apply the following ideas without experiencing positive change. So if you do not experience a positive change, it's because you are choosing the same fearful, worried, stressful thoughts and experiencing the same painful results. It's as simple as that. You can create joy or pain. Either way, you're going to learn. Make a commitment to yourself that you will listen to this audio program for 60 days and diligently apply the information. Doing this for 60 days will create a solid basis for a new way of thinking and feeling. Even if you only listen to a small portion of the CD, it will remind you to realign your thoughts, which will in turn begin to repattern your thinking.